is Weekly Wisdom, our reading that I come on and do every Sunday, just to give us all a little bit of insight into the energies that lie ahead of us, get us prepared and ready for the week, so that way we're not walking into things without knowledge of how to move, operate for our best interest, right? So we will go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and pause the music, so that way you all can hear me and I can hear myself, okay? As always, there are 4 spreads. This is a collective reading. A collective reading means this is general advice for the collective. So some of what you hear will probably land and feel deeply familiar. Some of it may not. I encourage you to chew the meat, spit out the fat. If you came here for wisdom and you feel like you are in urgent or dire need of insight, I give readings, a book or one-on-one reading with me, right? And most of the people who tune in have gotten readings from me before, so they can attest to accuracy, skill, But again, this is a general reading, okay? If you came here because you saw me mention myself in a group on one of the apps, and you know that I take questions from the audience, I do and I will. My request is that you hold your question until we have gotten through the general reading. Let me give my updates for the week, and then I will take questions from the audience, okay? Having said that, we will go ahead and jump straight into it. I'm still trying to reconnect with my Millennial Tarot deck. For whatever reason, I haven't felt connected to it lately. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do the general reading with that. And then if I feel like it's giving me good energy, I'll do the rest of the readings with it. If not, I will take something else from my pile of cards. As you come into the room, say hello, say hi, leave a comment. I try to keep this space as interactive as possible. So saying hello lets me know who's around, who I can tag in and allow to be part of the conversation. Hit those scale emojis as well, because the scales do give me energy. They very much align and are linked to my name, okay? Hold on a second. Sorry. I need to get a better storage plan than my bra, because sometimes things hurt a little bit, and that's distracting. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits walk with me. My elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need at this time as we enter into the week of July 20th through the 26th? Give us insight into the nature of any lessons, blessings, challenges, breakthroughs, or obstacles coming our way over the next 7 days. Who do we need to be? What do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environments that will allow us to move through the energy of the next 7 to 10 days with mastery and precision? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Sorry, I was doing workings earlier, and this is the thing about Sunday being my busiest day. I try to get presentable before I get on camera with y'all, and sometimes I'm successful at it. Other times, I'm going to come on here with ashes on my face, roux in my hair, like just a lot going on. And because this Mercury retrograde has been kicking everybody's ass, your girl's been busy. I've been busy while also having to navigate my own difficulties, which is a lot, but that's the life of a priestess. People don't understand that, especially people who fetishize being a priestess. They don't understand that. Because your position and your responsibility is to serve, you don't get to run and hide. When you go through stuff, you literally have to figure out how to handle your stuff with one hand and balance other people's concerns with your other hand. It's a lot. Anyway, enough about that. Let's see what's going on with us for the week. Good thing is this shit is supposed to be over by Thursday, and I am counting down. Because I've never had a retrograde kick my butt like this before. Never had people play in my face like this before. I'm not laughing. It's not funny. We'll clarify over one of these, and then we'll jump straight into it. I will clarify with Tarot of the Divine. The makers of this deck have come out with another deck, and I haven't looked into it yet. But I love the artwork in this one so much that I definitely am going to have to check it out. Clarify the Devil card. What is the Devil card trying to tell us? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hello, Lavalin. Hello, Kodan. Hello, KFS. Thank you so much for joining this Sunday. Okay. So I'm not the only one who has been going through it. I'm not the only one who is feeling exhausted and somewhat sickened by some of the revelations that have come out during this retrograde. And a lot of us are navigating this energy, right? The warning is, yes, the things that are coming up about your immediate past are giving you the ick. Yes, there are some things that have transpired and that you're looking at that can put you in a spirit of regrets. Make sure that that does not stagnate you, right? Do your best not to allow that to make you live in that energy, right? Five of Cups is the warning about the depression that comes from focusing on the past and the pain of the past and the ick of the past. So just be very, very careful about that. The main thing that's going to help you, Taurus energy, Hierophant, being spiritually disciplined, right? We use this language of laying your burdens at the feet of the ancestors or laying your burdens at the feet of God. Not just because it sounds good and it's poetic, that is what you should do. So if you find yourself ruminating, if you find yourself dwelling over something, if you find yourself hyper fixating on the ways in which, because in Mercury retrograde, we talk a lot about miscommunication, but we don't talk enough about the ways in which people will purposely misinform you or misunderstand you, right? If you find yourself fixating on those things, go to your spiritual routine. Go to your spiritual regimen. I love that in this representation, it shows somebody literally in a yoga stance. Do your stretches, move your body, pray in front of your altar, meditate, do the things you need to do that are going to link you and anchor you in spiritual routine so that you don't get wrapped up in giving away your energy to barren places, right? Six of Pentacles is about giving to people who don't deserve, right? Or giving in areas or in spaces where the prosperity, the charity, the blessings won't be fruitful, right? And here's the thing. If you spend too much time focusing on the past and trying to fix mistakes that needed to be made to get you to your future, because that can happen. Yes, something happens in a way that doesn't feel good, but if it didn't happen that way, you wouldn't be able to move forward, right? If you hyperfixate on the way that it ending felt, on the way that a difficulty felt, instead of allowing spirituality to bring you to the present moment and be grateful for where you are now, all you'll do is pour your energy, pour your vitality, pour your resources, pour your focus into a barren space, into a space where the charity, the overflow will not be accepted. And in fact, it will be wasted and ruined, right? So, short answer, this whole first row is saying, try to spend time this week getting out of your head and out of your emotions, because that's where we are when we're in our Five of Cups energy. We're stuck in the head. We're stuck in the emotions. Get out of your head. Get out of your emotions. Get into your body. get into your spiritual practice so that you don't accidentally waste your energy, resources, and vitality on barren land, barren relationships, barren spaces, right? The only reason why you are hyperfixating on those moments in the past that you dwell on and repeat over and over again is because they highlight something about you that has put you in an energy of imposter syndrome. Either you feel misrecognition, you feel misunderstood, something is going on that is causing you to feel misread, misrecognized, purposely misunderstood, and that's causing an energy of imposter syndrome. Here's the thing about imposter syndrome. It's not anybody else's responsibility to bring you out of it. This is for you to get more anchored in your skill set, more anchored in who you know you are, more in alignment with your integrity, so that you don't, again, continue to play yourself and waste your gifts. Okay? So if this is happening to you, that is why Hierophant is coming up. Taurus is slow and steady wins the race, right? Taurus is also legacy. It's grounded energy. It's remembering who you are. So if whatever this Five of Cups thing is coming up, it's tapping on you in a way that's causing you to feel like an imposter or like people are invested in misrepresenting or extending you, A, it's because they are, but B, that doesn't mean you pour into them more. It means you pour back into yourself. It means you get more aligned with yourself. It means you reconnect to your training, to your skill set. You reconnect to all of the energy and the effort that you put in your immediate past to being who you are, okay? It doesn't feel like it in this moment, but it's going to blow over. The wheel is going to get back to being in your favor, right? Things are going to get back to a space where you can take advantage of faded moments and opportunities. And again, like I was saying earlier, yes, the ending was confusing. You're having a hard time understanding how it happened, but it needed to happen to clear the space for you to get to this Wheel of Fortune moment, right? Whatever this was, it was stagnating you and keeping the wheel from moving in your favor. So again, take care of yourself, get spiritually trained, realigned, get rooted back into your identity. But all this had to happen so that when this faded moment and opportunity came around, whatever fell apart or whoever you had to let go of doesn't fuck it up for you. I don't know any other way to say it, right? And that is why we end with the Devil card. You may not be able to see it clearly in this moment, but whatever was released was a negative attachment. Whatever it was something that had an addictive hold on you that pulled you out of alignment with your full power. You weren't going to be able to fully stand in your full power with that relationship, with that situation, with that environment, whatever it was, right? And you were taking too fucking long to recognize that that thing was holding you hostage, that it was bringing a lot of indecision that caused stagnation into your life, and that it was also keeping you in a poverty mindset. It kept you in an energy of needing to clutch, to cling, to hold tightly, and that does not help you, right? So yeah, whatever this is that was revealed to you during this retrograde, it was uncomfortable. It didn't feel right, it didn't fit, but don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it. Later in the week, through your regimen, through your meditations, through your prayer, through your spiritual anchoring and focusing, you will continue to get more clarity about how that connection, that attachment was keeping you small. It was going to keep you in an energy of over giving and pouring your blessings into barren land. So did it feel good the way that the attachment had to break? No. But you don't need to be connected to anything that is forcing you into imposter syndrome or confusion about who you are. And it doesn't matter how much you loved that space, that person, that thing, that environment, that whatever it was. If it had you fucked up about you, it needed to end. It needed to die. It needed to be let go. And yeah, the ending wasn't perfect, but what's the purpose in dwelling on an imperfect ending? All it's going to do is take away your attention from the things that are working out in your life, from the cups that are full. And spiritual regimen and gratitude will allow you to be able to remember what is full. Okay? So that's the general reading for us this week. I'm going to go ahead and keep going with millennial because so far it feels right. It feels right. So I'm going to keep going with it. And maybe that's the issue. Maybe I just need to continue to use this. For those of you who read, whether it's tarot or playing cards, give me your tips for what it is you do when you're starting to feel like you've lost connection with the deck, right? Because of course I cleanse my decks. We all do that. Of course I let them rest for a while. We all do that. But what helps you in terms of reattaching to them sometimes when it feels like you're disconnected? Share your tips if you have any, okay? Spirit is saying go to money next. So we'll go to money next. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits of walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we need when it comes to wealth, prosperity, and abundance in our lives over the next week and a half? Give us insight into any lessons, blessings, challenges, breakthroughs, obstacles that may be coming our way or already in our way as it relates to our relationship with money, our ability to multiply our money, our ability to protect our money. Give us insight, Spirit, into anything we need to see, the ways we need to be, the habits we need to take on that will strengthen our relationship with prosperity and abundance. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. If you did not get to watch Prosperity Clinic last week, I'd like to gently encourage you to go back and watch it. A couple of you were sweet enough, kind enough. I got text messages about the segment, which I was really surprised by because it's not like it had a ton of viewers. But a few people did reach out to me and say that the wisdom there was helpful to them. And I am deeply grateful for that. So please make sure that you check that out if you have not already. We will be back in 2 weeks for the second installment of the Prosperity Clinic. Okay? I love this. There's a major difference between taking wisdom, right, and seeking the advice of wise counsel and not trusting yourself to the point where you are letting every fraud or fool on the planet tell you what you should be doing in an area of your life, right? And there's warning about that here in this particular reading. Hold on one second. I'm going to put clarifiers over. Should I keep going? I'm going to keep going with Tarot of the Divine. Clarify the Five of Wands. What do we need to know about the Five of Wands? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hey, Nicole. Good to see you. Hey, Sanidra. Thanks for joining. If you guys know anyone that could benefit from this reading, go ahead and share this link. The more, the merrier. You guys know I'm still trying to grow my channel. Once I get to 500, there's a lot more I can do with this space. And we are about 50 followers away from that goal. So please don't hesitate to share these readings with other people. It's deeply appreciated. Okay. So some of you are not seeing what you want from your money, quite simply because you ain't doing shit with the wisdom and the advice you already have. I'm being really, really honest. Justice card is coming up because it's saying you got to put the work in, right? We get back from the universe what we put into it. What are the efforts you are putting into your financial health right now, right? Some of you all know what you should be doing and what you need to be doing, right? You know where you need to invest. You know where you need to tighten up. You know the shifts and the tweaks that need to happen to your budget. You're just not doing that shit, right? So the justice card is coming up to say, put actions in motion to see the results in the life you want. That is how you will receive justice, and you will receive improvement, and you will receive low-key protection, right? Because justice is also about the legal arm of protection, or the protection of the legal arm, right? What is happening? Love y'all down. You are waiting for a savior, Knight of Cups. You are waiting for somebody to come along with an offering, some sort of promise of protection or elevation. And even though that would be lovely, all of us would love to be financially saved, right? There is a little bit of a propensity or a possibility for you to be taken advantage of. Also remembering that Knight of Cups and its debilitation is the Don Juans, the smooth talker, somebody that'll talk you out of your draws, or in this case, talk you out of your money, part ways with your money. You don't know what to do with it, give it to me, I'll help you manage it kind of bullshit, right? So you're not gonna see the kind of breakthrough that you want. We're on the second reading, Dulcinea. We're on money right now. You're not going to see the breakthrough you want in your finances until you trust yourself enough to be strategic, take control, be deliberate, trust your planning. King of Swords, the king of strategy, the war strategist. Stop waiting for a knight to show up with an offer to protect you, because anybody that you think is going to protect you financially also has the propensity to fuck you up, right? Rihanna wrote, bitch better have my money, after her accountant stole a whole bunch of money from her. She is now a billionaire, but she had to go through the experience of having somebody come through, promise to protect her money, and fuck her over and take it. And that is why the Knight of Cups is coming through as a warning, not as a blessing in this reading. If you keep waiting for somebody to save you, if you trust everybody else's wisdom, guidance, and protection over your own, it will put you in a vulnerable space. King of Swords, tighten up. Don't talk about it, be about it. Again, the Justice card is saying, we already know what we need to do. We need to just put that into action so that we can get back the results from what we need to see. King of Swords is here as a reminder to let you know you can be your own financial strategist. You can be your own protector of your finances. You just gotta believe in yourself enough and trust yourself enough to actually do it. The other thing about the King of Swords is you gotta stop talking to everybody about your finances, right? People gotta do a lot of work to get to the King of Swords. And for better or for worse, people don't often know what the King of Swords is thinking. See, you are out here talking about all of your deficits, hoping that somebody shows up to save you. You are more likely to flag the attention of a predator before you flag the attention of a protector, okay? So tighten up, believe in yourself, take care of yourself. If you don't believe me, the Five of Wands is here, right? Whoever you're oversharing about your finances to, you cannot be surprised if they turn around and then, I just went through this. Ooh, Lord, I just went through this last week. You cannot be surprised if they turn around and then use that information to bully you, right? I had somebody who assumed that their financial investment in literally their own spirituality, they weren't doing me no favors, was somehow bigger to me than what it was. And they acted very nasty, okay? Remembering that we're still in Mercury retrograde. So be careful who you're talking to and trying to get financial advice from. Because if it is a wolf in sheep's clothing, Somebody showing up promising to be a help or a savior, but then they learn something about you that they cannot control or that they cannot benefit from, that will fall into that Five of Wands bully energy, frenemy energy very easily. I got close to you to gather information about you, to fuck with you. So this is another reason. This is why you have to get control of your own finances, okay? Everybody ain't straight. Everybody's not here to offer help the way that they want to pretend to. A lot of people are here to play like they are just to get information, to bully you or fuck you over, or to bring you down to size. I love that this is the card of the frenemy in this deck, because what are frenemies? They are people who play like they are a friend to gather information about you to then weaponize it against you later. The way that you protect yourself from that, again, is by taking charge, Chariot, of your own financial health and future. Yes, you may not be where you want to be right now financially, but if you are ambitious and forward moving about where you need to be financially, you ain't that far off from it. What do I always say about the Chariot? They wake up every day, not with the question in the back of their head of, will I be successful? They wake up every day with the question of, okay, how do I get closer to my success? That puts a purpose and an ambition and a drive in them. Also, remember, Chariot is almost always alone in their card. Nobody's here to save you around your finances. It's work that you need to do on your own. And it's also work that you need to stop distracting yourself from by taking on responsibility for other people. See, that's what I meant earlier when I said a lot of you are going out and doing all this information seeking and you already have enough information. There are people, and trust me, I'm a teacher, okay? I've been an educator I'm 43. I've been an educator for 24 years of my life. There are a lot of people who information hoard, not because the information is helpful for them, but because hoarding information makes them feel safe. And if they lie to themselves and tell themselves, well, I still have more to learn, I still need to know more, I don't know enough, there's always going to be more to learn. But don't let the more to learn be a distraction that keeps you from action. And right now, the I don't know enough, I need to know more is not only serving as a distraction from action for those who are watching live or in a replay, it's causing you to overtalk and to put information about yourself, your history, and your finances in the hands of people who could very easily fuck you over, okay? So that's why that needs to stop. Second time, we're only into the second spread, second time the Hierophant has come up. If you feel like you absolutely got to talk to somebody, talk to God. I'm not playing. Talk to God, take it to the ancestors, and then if you feel like you don't understand the messages that they're giving you clearly, then go to your healer. But running out, going to every fucking clown that claims to be a financial advisor, taking information from every bozo on the internet, going to every narcissist that lies and says, oh, I make $35,000 a month when they don't make shit, that's going to put you in harm's way, okay? You really aren't that far off from comfort. You are not that far away from hitting your targets. You are not that far from financial stability. You really are not. It's actually around the corner, which is why that first card was justice. Tighten up. Put the work into place. Do the things you know you need to do so that way you can actually benefit from the comfort and safety and protection of financial stability. But right now, doing all this information hoarding, running out and telling people the wrong people about your finances, trusting other people's intelligence over your own, thinking that you just got to hoard all the information and hide behind it. No, all that's doing is causing stagnation. It's causing confusion. Trust yourself and move forward. Take action. I'm really interested in, and these are probably the cards I'm going to meditate over myself this week. I'm really interested in that conversation between Justice and the Chariot. I really, really love that conversation. So that is the financial reading for the week. We will do health and wellness, and then we'll wrap up with love. and then I'll take questions from the audience, okay? Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need related to our health and wellness for the week of July 20th through the 26th? Who do we need to be? What do we need to see about our habits, our environments, our relationships and our connections that are either helping us to regulate our health, bring balance to our holistic health, or that are pulling and draining our energy, draining our health? Give us insight into, and I'm going to let it fall, the practices, habits, ways of thinking, ways of being we need to release, increase, or maintain to bring balance to the health of our mind, body, and soul. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I sometimes will wait until I pull the whole spread to read the card that fell out, but I'm going to start with it because I think it's really, really important. Some of you guys don't feel good energetically because your home is not in order. Here's the thing. If you continue to run from getting your home in order, and when I talk about getting your home in order, for some of you, it's as simple as just cleaning, right? You need to clean, you need to tidy your home. For some of you guys, you're eating in a way that's fucked up because you don't have good food in your home. So do some grocery shopping, right? You are not working out because for whatever, whether it's the heat, whether you're working from home, whether you're being busy, there's no workout designated space in your home. Create that, right? But the Four of Wands is here to talk about the instability of the home and how that is having a direct impact on your health, right? The home is set up in a way to where when you go out into the world, you are already drained. You are already struggling. You're already moving from deficit. And homecoming, the home is supposed to be a place that nourishes and revitalizes you. So whatever it is that's missing from the home, that is not helping you get that recharge that you need to deal with life, sit down, figure it out, and give that to yourself. Let this be the week that you're honest about that and that you get that in order, right? I have a friend that makes fun of me because they say every time they call me or text me, I'm making tuna fish. And low key I am, right? Why is that? And I don't just eat off of tuna fish, but there are certain staples in my diet, certain things that I will cook in batches. I'll make tuna fish. I'll bake a bunch of sweet potatoes, right? I will keep a bunch of soft boiled eggs, at least 3 to 4 days worth in my fridge. And I do that because I'm a spiritualist. And it's so easy for me to get wrapped up in the work that I do that the next thing you know, it's at the end of the day and my body needs food, right? And so if I have these things in my home regularly, it keeps me from either not eating at all or eating like a bunch of top ramen or Uber eating a bunch of shit that's not good for me, right? That's what I mean or at least that's what I understand related to health and holistic health, how I experience the Four of Wands when it's in reverse. There's something out of balance with your home. There's something that you're not giving yourself in your home. And that lack of that thing is also causing you to be running on fumes when you're out in the world, right? It's going to be different things for different people, okay? I'm not gonna cry because I'm in a good mood. We're not doing this today. We are not doing this today. There's some self-neglect. There's some self-neglect that those who are watching either live or in the replay deal with. Pretty heavy self-neglect. And it can be manifesting in physical neglect, like the example I gave with the food and making sure that you have healthy things that you can eat quickly, right? Or it can be just an over prioritizing and a people pleasing to the form of not taking care of yourself, right? But there's something going on in a shadow issue with those who are watching live or in the replay where you are not taking really, really good care of yourself, right? So the shadows that allow you to default to self-neglect and self-harm, this is the week where you got to get really honest with yourself about it, okay? Spirit really wants you to nurture yourself. You cannot pour into other people until you take good care of yourself. I always say this about the Queen of Pentacles. Yes, she is the queen of wealth. Yes, she is the queen of luck and favor. But a huge part of the reason why she has such good favor from other people and why people want to be in her orbit is because they watch her take such good care of herself, right? If you come to her home, she's going to offer you fresh fruit. She's going to offer you a bowl of cherries and grapes because she has clean cherries and grapes washed in her fridge that she has for herself, right? It starts with you, right? And I see now why this conversation about the drain of the home is coming up, because there are some of us watching either live or in the replay who we are out in the world being everything to everybody, but then when we get home, we don't treat ourselves the best. And I know that the reason why this is coming up is because you think other people can't see it, and they do. They're seeing, a dim in your luster. They're seeing that, your skin is off. They're seeing something's off. So the Queen of Pentacles is coming up saying, hey, that's cute that you're taking care of other people, but let's take care of us first. And the more we nurture us, the more we meet our earth sign, physical, grounded, material needs, the easier it's going to be for us to show up in a way where we can meet that for other people as well, right? This is a spiritual hygiene and spiritual discipline issue. I know you don't want to hear it. The way you treat your temple and the way you take care of you is a spiritual issue, and that's why the High Priestess is here. Some of you guys have been trying to do your regular spiritual routine, and you either feel like you're not connected to your spirits, or you feel like you can't interpret what they're saying to you right. Because you have not taken good care of your body. There's a certain foundational way that you really have to take care of yourself in order for spirit to come through and to come through clearly, right? I don't trust spiritualists who brag about never fasting and say ignorant shit. Well, my spirits don't want me to do, they don't need me to do all that. You're probably working with demons, that's why, right? But if you are having difficulty and something feels off about your spiritual walk and alignment, it's because something is out of alignment with your physical care. And all of this is connected to the energy of the High Priestess. High Priestess is really disciplined about her physical care because she understands that physical care has a direct impact on her ability to connect with the spirits in her court, with her ability to discern and understand the wisdom that she's responsible for guarding behind the veil. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Yes, these are shadow issues. That's why the moon is here. But the Six of Cups is also here because you need to exercise some self-forgiveness. What do I mean by that? These are learned behaviors. You guys watched your mothers neglect themselves out of busyness. You guys watched your fathers hide behind hyperproductivity, right? And so Six of Cups being inner child healing, Six of Cups being nostalgia, Six of Cups being us reflecting over the messages and the lessons from the past so that we can take, chew the meat, spit out the fat, take what works and forgive and move forward from what doesn't. A lot of you are doing things just because you saw or that's what you were taught to do. So there's some unlearning and some releasing that needs to happen so that you can move forward and take better care of yourself, right? I'm not saying anything you didn't already know. You've been feeling stagnated and sluggish and confused for quite some time. You have felt like you have struggled with basic decision making for quite some time, and that's why that high priestess is here, right? Because when we're in line with the high priestess, we don't struggle to make decisions. Ori is clear, right? But because of whatever neglect, physical neglect has been taking place, you're struggling to make even small decisions, okay? I love that we're ending with the Six of Wands. Some of you all need to, there's isolation, right? Talk to your communities, your coven, even if it's just your family. There are people around you who, if you talk to them, and it's not about them giving you judgment, because these are people who love you down and think you're perfect, they want to see you win, right? They're going to remind you of who you are, and they're also going to remind you of your healthy habits, right? I love that this is squad goals in this deck, because sometimes we fall out of alignment because we're in isolation. And then when we drag ourselves out of that isolation and we reconnect to the people who we love the most and who want to see us win, we fall back into our habits very easily because they never fell out of those habits, right? It's easier for you to go out and exercise if you tag along with your friends you know who go hiking every week. It's easier to go and buy the healthy food you need if you hitch a ride with your neighbor that you know goes to Whole Foods every Thursday, right? So I love that we're ending with this because, yes, this is an individual disconnection that a lot of you guys that are dealing with that's caused you to be out of alignment with your holistic health. But you don't get out of it solely in isolation. You get out of it by remembering who's around you, okay? I hope that that was helpful. Literally lulled at, you're probably working with demons. That's what, child, I have been flabbergasted in my day with how many times people think that they are talking to particular spirits, and it's tricksters and rogues that are fucking them over. And they think that they are so gifted because they saw a breakthrough on something small, but the devil gives gifts every day. Demons give gifts all the time, you know? So that's why I keep telling people to stop using the link. And I struggle with it too because it's so easy. I'm still trying to train myself out of saying spiritual gifts and saying spiritual abilities. I've been getting on my kids about decluttering and cleaning, but I haven't done much on my own. You have to declutter regularly because negative energies will hide in the clutter. I literally had an experience a few months ago where I'm going to try to say this as neutrally as possible. I was visiting with somebody who I love, and another person that we love bought their baby. And I'm pretty sure that their baby is spiritually gifted because when the baby went into a particular corner where there was some clutter, she started saying, "Ooh, scary, no, scary." And it was like being, her mom was saying she was being weird, but I knew what was happening. Okay. Her mother is devoutly Muslim, so she don't even want to hear none of that shit, right? So later when this person left with their baby, I asked this person, like, have you been okay? Have you been sleeping? What's been going on? And not only have they not been okay, not only have they not been sleeping, they reported that they had a few nights over the last few weeks, over the weeks prior, where they woke up with scratches at their ankles. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you got to do a cleanse over your home. You have to declutter. We have to do a cleanse, right? I share this story to say it's not bullshit. It's not things that people just say because it sounds good or they heard someone else say it. Spirits will hide in the clutter. Spirits will hide in the clutter. They will hide in the dirt. And so that is why keeping a clean home is important. Don't trust no priestess with a dirty ass house. Don't let nobody do work for you that has bad spiritual hygiene. If they funky, that's a problem. And I think sometimes we want to not feel like bad people or not judgmental. But motherfucker, if it's your spirituality, exercise that judgment because that will protect you. Okay? Long-winded tangent, but hopefully that fell on ears of somebody who needed to hear it. Okay. Oh, I like that. I've been saying, well, we asked for superpowers back in 2020, and those of us that did the work actually got them. That's real. Be careful what we wish for, right? Be careful what we wish for. Let's go ahead and do this love reading and then wrap up so that I can take questions from the audience. And so that I will still have time to get to House of Dragon on time. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me, elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need to know about love, relationship, and matters of the heart during the week of July 20th through the 26th? Give us insight into who we need to be and what we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environments that will allow us to have the experiences of love and be loved by those we want to connect to in the ways we want in these next 7 to 10 days. If there are any obstacles, blessings, breakthroughs, challenges in this area of life that we need to be made aware of, illuminate them now so that we know how to best protect and prepare ourselves. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Cleanliness is next to godliness. As I get older, I realize that a lot of those phrases and sayings, though simplistic, they're true. They're very, very true, and they're deeply important. I love this. This reading is very, very deeply focused on self-love. And here's the thing. It's a similar, and we've been saying something very similar, and by we, I mean me and the spirits of my court, have been saying something very similar for the last few weeks. And I hope that it falls on the ears of those who need to hear it. And those who have heard it, who have not made movement on it, I pray that this be the week you make movement on it. You need to be treating yourself very, very well through rest and self-care, because it's how you treat you that prepares the partner that is coming in for how you want to be treated. Okay? If you have no boundaries and you're not getting sleep and you don't let people know that they aren't supposed to call you before 9 a.m., what do you think is going to happen when you start dating? The person that is coming in is going to be calling you at 7 in the morning and shit, right? If you don't have a routine of getting your monthly massage, what would make you think that the partner that's coming in is going to know to give you a monthly massage, right? Or to just pay for that out of kindness, especially if your love language is acts of service or gifts, right? Get really rooted in your self-care. Because some of you guys have gone through some things related to love and romance, right? Maybe some recent letdowns, and you need the self-care and the nurturing so that you can heal, regenerate, and be ready for the next love coming in anyway. But also, this is about teaching people how you want to be loved and how to love you, okay? This is a self-worth issue. Queen of Wands, Queen of Worthiness. The more worthy you believe you are, and the more you operate in that worthiness and you give yourself based off of that worthiness, the easier it's going to be for somebody to show up that brings that energy to you. If you feel like that is something you struggle with, but you don't know how to put it into motion, temperance, reflection, stillness, and meditation. This actually low key is following up from the conversation that we were having in the health reading, right? Some of you guys don't know what the needs are to make your home a more healthy space and a space of revitalization and rejuvenation because you're not reflecting on what the missing needs are. It's the same thing with your love journey. Because you have not done enough self-reflection over what's missing from your self-love journey, it's going to be hard for you to have knowledge and wisdom that transfers over into your romantic love or your communal or social love journey, right? So take care of yourself, yes. Work on your relationship to worthiness so that you don't fall out of a pattern of taking care of yourself. And if you know you struggle with that, sit in reflection and be real and honest with yourself about what you feel you need or what spirit is revealing to you that you need, okay? All of this is coming up because, again, not only is the energy of love and romance about to pick up around you, but you about to be outside. Your desire to be outside and to be in people's faces is about to pick up, right? We know Knight of Wands is Aries energy, that pick up and go energy. Impulsivity, yes, but impulsivity is not always a bad thing. You are gonna be, if you're not already there, you are very shortly, and I mean within the next few weeks, be in an energy of adventure and seeking connection and wanting to be outside and wanting to be cute and real talk, libido being high, right? That's just around the corner for many of us watching live or in the replay. That's why Spirit is saying get your rest, work on your worthiness, get cute, and get clear about what you want so that when you get outside, when you're around people, when you're in the energy of adventure and connection, you are clear about what you want, right? This is also coming up because some of you are moving off of old information about who you are and what you think you want from love. And the more you work, hey, Jess, good to see you. The more you work on your worthiness journey, the more you work on your self-care and your self-love journey, the more you'll realize, like, I've been asking for this in romance. I've been prioritizing this in romance, and I actually don't really want this anymore, right? With the Hangman being the card of the paradigm shift. The slowness and the stillness, the uncomfortable, sometimes forced stagnation or stillness that makes us have to reflect anyway. That's why I love that this card is fun employment, right? Nobody wants to be fired. Getting fired fucking sucks. Getting laid off sucks. But some of my most fun memories were happened when I was on unemployment. I'm not gonna hold you. I made a whole career shift in a 3-month period of time while I was on unemployment. It was in that stillness, that forced stillness and reflection, that I was able to realize, like, I don't think I want to be in academia anymore. And then I made a pivot to crisis services. Some of you guys are mourning and almost judging yourself for being single right now. I'ma say it, Gail. I'ma say it. My auntie is telling me to tell y'all that's fucking stupid. There's so much time to reflect over who you are and know who you are and get clear about what it is you want from the world when you're single. So, Hangman, rather than being upset about what you perceive as a stagnation, allow that stillness to provide you with an opportunity for a paradigm shift. No, I'm not going to leave you alone. I didn't even know I was talking to you, but now that I know, I'm not going to leave you alone. Rather than seeing it as something bad or a punishment, rather than seeing your hangman moment as a punishment, lean into it and allow the paradigm shift to happen. because that paradigm shift will transform how you experience not only this time, but any experience you have once you leave it. Okay? We end with the Eight of Cups, the card of inner work, the card of walking away from things that no longer serve you, a card of going on an individual journey that brings you closer to your purpose and what you want, right? Rather than mourning over your singledom or this pause in your romance, let it heal you so that in this next chapter and in this next journey, you are going after something that is much more in alignment with and worthy of you. And you're not just rushing into the next thing just to say you are in something. Okay? I hope that reading was helpful. I hope it fell on the ears of those who need to hear it. Best to take your time and really get to know people before jumping in a relationship. We say that, and we know that logically, but let's be real, Sanidra, do niggas really do that? Is that really how people... We know it logically, but folks aren't... Yeah, I enjoy being single. I've learned so much about myself over the past 9 years. And that's great, and I believe that you have, but then also, I love you down, but you also don't want that to be an excuse, right? There's one thing to enjoy and love being single and love the wisdom that comes from that. It's another to be hiding from love and romance. So just make sure you're not doing the latter, okay? But now that I know who I am and I know my worth and what I want from my relationship, I'm ready for a relationship. Yes, absolutely. Nope, I sure didn't. Girl. Love you, Sanidra. All right, we're now at the end of the collective readings. This is where I take questions from the audience. If anybody has a general question that they want me to ask, go ahead and send your love offering and then I'll get to you. Send your love offering and then leave a comment in the comments section. Suggested love offering is $11.11, but no one will be turned away for not having that. So if you don't have that, just send what you can. It's the energetic exchange that matters, okay? If you have more than that and you just want to bless me because, the kindness matters, thank you in advance, all right? But go ahead and start submitting your love offerings if you want me to answer a question. While you are doing that, I will bring everyone up to speed on things that I'm working on. So I mentioned last week that I'm going to be promoting a lot more of my coaching services going forward. On September 22nd, I will be launching my new chapter method, 90-day mentorship program, right? That is for anybody who is looking to start a new chapter in their life. So if you know you are in a period of stagnation and you want to create major change, that is a program that I strongly encourage you to consider. I will be talking about it in more detail this Thursday during Astro Hour. But before September 22nd, on August 22nd, I will be doing a 3-hour workshop that is a little bit of gives you an opportunity to dip your toe into what we're going to be going through with the new chapter method. So that's going to be about $49. I will give more details about that on Thursday as well. Make sure you stay tuned for future live streams to learn more about the coaching offerings, right? Now, in terms of my priestess services and offerings, all of that shit's still available. If you want to book a reading with me, that's available. If you are ready for mentorship, Charm School is still taking interviews. That is my hoodoo mentorship program or my priestess training program, okay? For those of you who can't commit to weekly in-person classes or live classes, I also have Study Hall, which is my self-paced mentorship program. You can learn about both programs by joining the Charm School intake group, which is in the description section of this video. And you can learn more about how to join either one. On August 10th, I will be starting the next round of the Rich Spirit Prosperity Ritual. That is my seasonal prosperity ritual, honey ritual, where we use honey to really get in touch and understand what our financial blockages are through revelation and to remove them, okay? I've been doing this ritual for 4 years now. It is transformational. It has helped a lot of people. It's helped people get rid of debt. It's helped people get funding. It's helped people get houses. It's helped people fund weddings. Anything people gotten pregnant from it if you're trying to have a baby, because honey is aphrodisiac. Any kind of abundance you're trying to bring into your life, Rich Spirit can help you with it. So consider joining us for Rich Spirit. It'll take place August 10th through 14th. Details are in the description. We are also doing another round, me and Conan, of Pathways to Power, which is a road opening ritual. Me and Conan will be doing another live soon, where, like we did last time, where we are talking about people in pop culture and geopolitics and using them as an example to talk about when road opening is necessary. Okay, so keep your eyes out for that live stream, but join us for this round. Click the link in the description to join the intake group and to learn more, okay? And then the last thing, we have about 2 more weeks, little less than 2 more weeks of July left. The July specials are my Gold and Shadows reading, which is my financial prosperity, health, and wellness reading. It'll tell you about the gold in your life, where you can use spiritual gifts or blessings to increase prosperity, and the shadows, revealing the blockages that are impacting your relationship with money. Okay? So if you would like to get that reading, go ahead and book. It's on discount for the month of July for $85. It's typically $125, but for the month of July, it's $85. And then if you can't participate in Rich Spirit while we're doing the ritual together as a group, buy the Rich Spirit body wash. Okay? It's a body wash that you can use either as an additive to your current prosperity or spiritual regimen, or it also comes with a regimen and a ritual that you can do at home. And that is on sale for the month of July for $33.33. So that's everything I'm working on. Those are all the specials I'm offering. As always, if you want to join Patreon, you can also get classes through the Patreon as well, okay? I have a question from Dulcinea. Right now, she's the only person that submitted a question. Again, if you have a question, send your love offering. Suggested donation is $11.11. If you don't have $11.11, send what you can, okay? And she would like to know if she should continue to pursue Jesus as a potential, pursue Jesus as a potential serious relationship. Okay. Are you asking about someone named Jesus romantically, or is this about your spiritual walk? Give me a little clarity, Dulcinea, so I can make sure I'm asking the question right. Codan says, Rich Spirit is amazing. It is. I love it. It's my baby. I had done other group rituals before Rich Spirit, and they tend to drain me. So the fact that I am still dealing with the same ritual 4 years later speaks to the efficacy of it. It just works. It works. It really works, and I love doing it. And people who have done it can speak to its efficacy and how it's changed things for them. Okay, romantic. Ancestors, angels, and their master spirits walk with me. Elevated ancestors. Should Dulcinea continue to pursue things with Jesus romantically? If so, why? What does it open up? If not, why not? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Can we do a happy hour in the near future and talk about Fawn Weaver and Nearest Uncle Whiskey? Lord, that situation bothered my spirit. I don't know enough about that to dedicate an entire happy hour to it. And to be quite honest, I have not felt motivated to do happy hour in a while because I don't like a lot of what's coming up in pop culture. I used to do a lot of celebrity readings and things just because that was something that was encouraged by my former mentor, but it's not where my heart really lies. And I actually don't like the way that people engage with those things. So I'm not going to say I'll never do it again, but it's just really not where my heart is right now. My heart is on Prosperity Clinic, My heart is on what about your friends, because I really need us to be better community members. I'm tired of doing readings for and giving spiritual advice to people who want villages but don't know how to be villagers, right? I just really want to spend my time and my energy on those things right now. So maybe I'll talk about something in the future that helps you with that particular, or that will lean into that. But I don't really feel the most motivated right now to really do happy hour KFS. I'm sorry. I accidentally picked 6 cards for you, Dulcinea. I'm gonna read the first 3 and be quick about the last 3. Short answer, yes. 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 Pursue this person. The good thing about them is that they actually have a life. and Virgos need to be with people that have a life. 2 of Pentacles, he's busy, right? He has a lot on his plate. You also have a lot on your plate. So this is not going to be somebody that distracts or stresses you, or thinks that it's cute to show romance by pulling you out of your grind or your focus. They are also somebody who has an open heart. They are very true. They are ready to be poured into romantically and poured into someone romantically. This attraction is genuine. So you don't have to be guarded with this person. They also like a romantic gesture, right? They want to spoil. This is somebody that's going to take care of you emotionally. All right. Just from these 3 cards alone, I like them. With the Ace of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, and the Page of Swords, the main thing with those 3 cards is that you are going to have to be very careful and teach yourself how to not project your discomforts onto him, right? Because Page of Swords is really, really smart. They're the honor student, but they're still a student, right? So making sure that you don't, like, for lack of better words, pick arguments with him or project insecurities onto him. Just be mindful of that. The easiest way to be mindful of that is to take inventory of your discomforts as they arise. But for the most part, I think that this is something you should pursue. They are very, very genuine. He's a sweetheart. And you know I hate men. I'm low-key a misandrist. Like, so if this, you got a good egg. You got a good egg with this one. Okay. Sanidra's changed their question. So I'll do Sanidra's question. If there's no one else after Sanidra, I'll wrap up. But if anyone else would like a reading, go ahead and submit your love offering and put your question in the comments. I had a dream last night that I was asleep, but I saw someone sleep on the floor facing the opposite direction from me. And then they levitated. The body went towards the window, then the door. Oh, wow. Okay. What wisdom does Spirit have for me regarding this dream? Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me. Give us understanding about this dream that Sanidra had. Is there some sort of spirit around her that needs to be revealed? If so, what's going on with the spirit? What is this dream trying to let her know at this time? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Sanidra, we're going to do your reading now because you sent your love offering and we're doing readings now. But if this becomes a recurring dream, or if you have any other weird dreams that pop up, you may want to consider getting a dream interpretation from me. But let's see what comes up, because that is very weird. That's very weird. Clarify the 6 of Swords. What is the 6 of Swords trying to tell? I figured. Okay. I was having this conversation with another person who watches these lives. I'm not going to say who it is. If they feel empowered to come out and say it, then they're more than welcome to. But I was having this conversation with them last week, actually. The more you do ancestral veneration, the more you work with your spirits. We venerate the ancestors, yes, to connect to them. But I think in our human selfish way, we are so focused on what we get from that we forget that we are venerating and we're elevating them, right? There is an ancestral spirit around you that, how do I explain this? Give me the language, spirit. Give me the language. It's an ancestral spirit around you that through your venerations is getting filled up. And so it's getting stronger, right? Part of the reason why it was on the floor and then it elevated and left out the window is because the more you venerate, the stronger it's going to get and the more it's going to have power to move away and operate on its own, right? Six of Swords, it's literally getting energy to be able to move around and move forward. Your work as a priestess and your connection to the spirits is, again, mutual exchange being poured back and forth into you and them. Continue to do your inner work because your inner work also elevates your ancestors. It elevates your spirits, right? It will repay you as it gets stronger through protection. That's another part of the reason why it was at your bed, right? Why it was at the feet of your bed. I hope that makes sense. And again, if you, actually, Sanidra, you still have reading time from Patreon. So if you are not in a position to book a dream interpretation, reach out to me for one of your Patreon readings and we'll look further into what's going on. But it's an ancestral spirit. It's not a harmful spirit. It's not anything meant to hurt you. It's being elevated through its relationship with you. Alrighty. I don't see any other questions. I'm not going to push y'all further because my show is going to be on in 15 minutes. I love you all. Our What About Your Friends segment, where we talk about navigating female friendships in adulthood, will be on Tuesday. I know I said Wednesday, but I had to change the day. It will be on Tuesday at 8 p.m. EST. And then on Thursday, I will be back for an Astral Hour segment because we want to get ready for not only the closing out of Mercury retrograde. Thank God I'm so ready for this to be over. Not only do we need to talk about the full moon that's coming up in the beginning of next week, but there are some other astrological transits that we need to go over as well. So Tuesday, 8 p.m., Thursday, 8 p.m., make sure you come back. The cicadas are loud as fuck outside. Make sure you come back. I'll see you guys then. Until next time, take care. Bye.